Storm Dulu, hey Wormholer. Hey, I want a short name, please. Knight. Artificer. Hey Severin. We got more explosion damage. We got increased explosion sizes. We get elemental damage. But we don't deal any non-explosion damage. And we get worse armor. My experience with Artificer is we want to get Plank. That is my experience with Artificer. Amphi, Brain Fist, Tikron, Raven, hello. We got Wrench. So, I think it is still worth it to switch to Plank if it is offered to us. The way I have in the past won with Wrench Artificer has been to get a red wrench as fast as possible, and the start of the game is just kind of hard. Yeah, I have lost a lot of times with Wrench. On Artificer. I played 14 runs of Artificer in my spreadsheet, and I think lost the majority. Raven Gyarados, Nagati Knight, Ravensaurus, Pokemon Nerd. Zenga, hello. Audio desynced from video. Uh-oh. Sometimes when that happens, a refresh has helped viewers. Unless it's on my end. Which I guess is possible. Can I just not kill that tree? Is it just impossible? I guess it's just impossible. I'll take a little bit of harvesting, but it's iffy because I am quite weak at the moment. I'm gonna take a screwdriver. I'm gonna take a lumberjack shirt. Group everybody up and then walk them over a landmine. I'm concerned. Let's buy landmines. I do have 11 harvesting, which does like a little bit for scaling me, but not enough. Kanyat, thanks for the 19 months. What's that in the background? Daylight. It is. The sun's out this morning in Seattle. Ow. I'm gonna just have to play the starting waves out of my mind. Like a speed. I'm gonna take a little bit of HP regen. I don't get that many consumables yet. The first point of HP regen is worth more than the subsequent points of HP regen. And I could use the help. Oh, that was a good landmine. You see that? That's so good. I'm gonna take harvesting again. Easy King, thanks for the 4 months. Appreciate it. Okay, this is a relatively useful turret, and Pocket Factory exists here, which is also obviously pretty good. Whew. Careful about my wrenches pushing things into me. Don't want to use that landmine yet. Are there any more? I don't see any more landmines. Still alive! I will take more HP regen. Armor doesn't scale as much. It is a purple armor though. More harvest. Engineering. That one will be good. I think I will probably buy a duct tape. Hope I draw some major powers that synergize with Artificer. Found a Pocket Factory. I have lost on Wave 6 as Artificer several times before in my life. Oh, I didn't kill it. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Another landmine seems great. Whatever. Sure. I am still having to dodge pretty well. Oh, I found a plank. Let's grab a plank. Morning, Blasty Blue. I should craft some magic items when I get the chance. Who does want to craft magic items in Brotato? I really need a landmine to kill those. I kind of missed. Okay. Okay. I keep killing the trees because they all give me another turret. Woo! That was a good one. Still alive! Ooh, 9 max HP doesn't hurt. I'm going to take another 10 harvesting. I think I've taken a harvesting like every level up or something. Does that sound about right? Taking a lot of harvesting. The trees give magic items. Nice. I think I'm actually like relatively okay at the moment. We may have just... I don't think this like build path is any good at all, but we found some really good items. Very efficient stuff. And that may just be enough. So I can start thinking about going for elemental damage now to increase my explosion size. As is, I'm kind of just playing a bad engineering run. An engineering run where I get 50% armor compared to a regular character. And also nothing else deals damage. Like I can't take a baby elephant with minus 100% damage. Doesn't do anything. That's elemental damage and HP regen, which is what I'm using to heal. Sure. 4 engineering is great. It says explosion damage, but means explosive damage. Interesting. Okay, I need to buy this. Wave 9. 18 HP regen. Okay. One of the cool things about this game is you can stand on your own landmines and then walk off of them to explode them. Which is such a cute extra thing which didn't have to be in the game, you know? I don't think I've ever played a game with landmines in it where they let you do that. It isn't explained anywhere that you can do it or anything, you just like find out on your own kinda. It's a good game, this one. You can do that in real life too. Okay, yeah. Sure. Metal, probably okay. I like the speed, I like the max HP and armor. I don't care about crit chance. I'll take weird food. Another medical turret. A compass. Compass is a good item for me. Like, actually good item. Improved tools. I have 0% attack speed. It's worth buying. Take another weird food. Consumables now heal me a good chunk. So now I have Pocket Factory, Sad Tomat, and I will be buying an improved tools. So we got a few of the really high quality items. How's everyone in chat today? Did you hear about the trial? Kind of wild. I don't understand what it means. I'm assuming it doesn't mean the thing I would like it to mean. Roll Grand, hey mighty Sasquatch, hey Thermodone. The trial of the next US president. Oh no. I'll take 1 armor. I think armor is pretty good. I do have a red turret now. It's a wave 11 elite. I'm going to grab this red turret, which means I'm down to 4 weapons. Okay, it's not Smiley. The thought was just, I would like to be able to stand by the explosive turret against some of the most challenging elites. This wave is hard. Is it dying, by the way? Look at that explosive turret damage. It's almost dead. I didn't think there was any chance I would kill it. If I'd gotten the plus 25% damage to elites, I might have actually had it dead. Oh, the wave being hard makes it fun. Yeah, okay. Genuinely, I like playing Brotato a lot. It's one of the few games that I play on stream which will actually get my heart racing. And then I will like feel like I have to go do something else for a while. Close runs of Brotato, even if they are completely no stakes, like I'm not playing Brotato for any stakes at all right now. Are regardless often pretty hype for me. Elden Ring doesn't get my heart racing? Very rarely. Not in the same way that Brotato does. I think there's too much of an expectation that I will die in Elden Ring. Maybe what it actually is a pace of learning exists in Elden Ring, such that if I lose a fight that was close, I can just go do the fight again, and then I'll probably win it next time. Or, like, sometime not too long from now. Whereas in Brotato, if I die on this wave, like, I never have a run like this again. Like, runs like this, sure, but I'm never playing this exact run again. So this is my only chance ever to win it. I guess if I was playing Elden Ring hitless or something, maybe I would start to feel this way toward the end of a hitless run of Elden Ring. If that makes sense. You only get one shot, one opportunity. Okay, I found Nuclear Launcher. So Nuclear Launcher is kind of the late game for this character. And I'm going to take it now. But yeah, generally speaking, you have explosive type weapons if you're holding a plank, which bridges to Nuclear Launcher, so it will show up in shops. This is one of the reasons that plank is so good. I don't know if I want the toolbox or not. Probably do. I kind of need attack speed, right? I think I need attack speed too much to want it. Anyway, once you get Nuclear Launcher on Artificer, you're usually good. Look at the damage from my weapons. One of these is not like the other. Morale links to the 4 months. I just had the coolest idea I've ever had. Oh my god. You know how I have a spreadsheet and I write in the run things and everything? What if? Holy shit, this is actually the coolest idea I've ever had. What if we go freeze 1 row? Freeze 2 rows. Add a row above that. How do you reference the final cell in a column? in sheets? Does anybody know? I want this cell to say what the bottom row says. Nice, Smaller. That's awesome. Hope you've been enjoying it. Indirect. Cell reference specified by a string. Oh, wow. That's weird. I don't know how to do string logic in sheets, but I understand what you're saying. So I need to write a cat of a and probably 2 plus count maybe just count of a. So just that. What else does indirect need to do? Can you concat a string and a non-string value? Count. Is that what I wrote? So count a to a is 0. Count, how is that true? Count a. I need count a, which means number of values. Circular dependency detected. So I need to put this formula here. And then, in the other thing, I'm going to add a window capture. Actually, I already have the window capture. It is called... What is it called? Yes. How many hours of Brotato have I streamed? There. I never have to update it manually again. It'll just say. Revolutionary. Oh my god, we will go to the moon. I'll take some attack speed. I have improved tools, right? I have to update the spreadsheet manually. For now. You see what you you see what I mean about Brotato getting my heart rate up? Mm-hmm. This is exactly what I meant. Wave 14 elite, I don't have that much armor. I have decent HP regen and some turrets. I have a nuclear launcher and a red turret. I think it's a bit late to take a bag. Smiley's here. Here's my red turret. Ooh, my game is dropping frames. I wonder if the landmines off screen are killing all the shooters. This is not too bad. Yeah, honestly, this felt completely reasonable. Wave 11, this kills me. Wave 14, though, we were strong enough. Didn't quite kill it, but that's okay. We make a mod that broadcasts a character name on a local socket. Then, I think the mod I would make would look at my save file as it was updated in the game folder and use it to output information to my spreadsheet automatically. But I'm not going to make that. But that's what I would make. But I'm not going to do that. I've made shit like that before. It is a fun, in quotation marks, challenge. In quotation marks. Isn't this like my item? Is this the only character in the game who likes this item? It only gives me 4 engineering, but like still. Like I found the only character in the game that actually likes that one. Back when I used to stream Long War 1, I could probably find one of the YouTube videos. I had an entire spreadsheet display, which the game sat inside, and the spreadsheet display showed all of the like strategic information, like whether my soldiers were out of fatigue and how my interceptors were doing in terms of their damage and what I was researching and stuff like that. If I could get paid to make displays like that, I think I would be super happy and would just do that for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, I have to play video games for a living instead. Actually playing the video game? Oh. Who actually plays the video game? So cringe. I'm kind of a nerd. Yeah. Uh-huh. Noticed. I sure am. Bandana does okay here. You can tell from my toned eyes. Well, I mean, I also do some leg workouts. Being a nerd doesn't mean you can't have a good body. I would say that my incredible body is one of the primary defining features of me as a nerd, in fact. We have reached late game Artificer, huh? This is a lot easier than early game Artificer. I think people use Artificer for endless runs, if I remember right. I've never really watched or attempted whatever the endless strategy is for this game, but I'm pretty sure it's something having to do with the fact that Artificer makes explosions which cover the entire screen and kill everything instantly. Seems like it would be strong and endless. You'd argue that most professional athletes are nerds of a kind. Definitely some of them, yeah. Do I want another screwdriver? I'm not spending money on screwdrivers, and I'm not really sure why. Mostly I just want another nuclear launcher, honestly. Some basketball star got photographed playing Magic the Gathering at a random game store last weekend. Another one commentated Dota 2. Commentated like was in the booth. A bunch of nerds. You wouldn't catch me playing Magic the Gathering. That's untrue. Untrue. I have... Some of you know Loading Ready Run. I have this really interesting, to me, relationship with Loading Ready Run, where several of the people at Loading Ready Run I consider friends of mine, and they live like a 2-hour ferry ride away from me, 2.5. But also, they're a production company based around Magic the Gathering, so most of the times I've actually hung out with them have been to do something related to that. I don't even like Magic the Gathering that much, but like, it's an excuse to get an expenses paid weekend vacation. To hang out with my friends, you know? Anyway. I'm gonna be doing that next week. I'm gonna go do a couple of Commander games with them, and then play the Slay the Spire board game on their stream. So you will actually catch me playing Magic the Gathering if you are paying attention on the internet. End of days, thanks for 34 months. Appreciate it. Do love a good toxic sludge. The reason we care about elemental damage, if you don't know, is that with Artificer specifically, we get plus 4% explosion side for every 1 elemental damage we have, which is currently giving 60%. And then I've bought like, how many plus explosives? 4. So that's another 100%. So at 160% more at the moment. Seems like a decent item. Because of the elemental damage and engineering. Old school Jorbs is back. I think we fought my least preferred elite, and now we are fighting my second least preferred elite. Although the difference between my least preferred elite and my second least preferred elite is so gargantuan. I just... Smiley. I don't like Smiley. I've been thinking about Smiley. Because Smiley keeps killing me on wave like 11. I think a way you can trivialize, maybe not trivialize, a way that I am dying to Smiley on wave 11 is I get stuck inside Smiley's circle of dots, and then I'm stuck there long enough that chasers can get in and kill me. And so one like massive conceptual strategic shift that I could make is start going for like 25% speed early. Or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how much speed you need. Which changes the game, like, a lot. But would let me just run out of the circle of dots. I don't really want to have to do that, because I would have to, like, think about how everything changed when I was spending that much money on speed early. But I'm a touch concerned that it is the correct thing to do. If I could combine 2 taters, would I rather do Artificer and Engineer or Artificer and Old? I don't remember what the other stats on Old are other than map size. Makes the enemies slower, right? I think Engineer Artificer would be the stronger one. But Artificer Old would have better meme potential for sure. I mean, here's the thing though. Why not just get explosions big enough to cover the entire regular size map instead of playing Old and having a smaller map? Like really, you're nerfing your own passive. Look at how big my nuclear launcher explosions are right now. Randalza thanks for 26 months. Oh my god. Sorry. I just like caused someone to discover they have epilepsy. We've reached the part where Artificer becomes uncomfortable to look at. Yep, one more run. One more run. You can close your eyes if necessary. One more fight, rather. Is there a limit to the number of relics you can have? Why are there 2 elites at the same time? That's OP. You can have as many items as you want, but because of how the economy works in the game, even though there is an endless mode, the game has pretty heavy inflation on item prices, and so you're never going to play a run where like you actually do just get infinite of everything. There's a pretty hard cap on how much money you have to spend on things, which ends up functionally limiting how much you can have. Notes on this. Just barely survived early off screwdrivers. Just barely survived some elites off early harvesting pickups, giving good scaling. Pocket factory, sad tomats, and other strong stuff early. Oh. Oh, it's so close. This is good. Anybody have money on this? I would not be opposed to a betting poll getting going on this one. It's too long a thing for channel points, but we could have some sort of prediction market. $50 on present Jorbs. Arms dealer. Watch this. Watch this. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Oh! Wait. Fuck. Oh no. Is there a way to fit text to a cell in Sheets, actually? I don't think there is. I could center it in the cell. That would be good. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I will be right back. Okay. Is there some reason that I don't turn off explosion flashes? It doesn't bug me. This is why. Alright, arms dealer. Starts with pistol. Oh shit, I could capture the next cell of the sheet where I write in what weapon I started with as well. Interesting. Maybe I should do that as well. Let's keep it simple for now though. Does Sheets have like a scrolling function where it can scroll through different information in a column at some timed interval? Oh, I'm playing Arms Healer. How do you even play this character? I don't even know. 30 harvesting. Damage mods are increased by 33%. I feel like melee weapons was how I was doing it. I don't know if I'm meant to take this or not. There's a plugin that can do that, but it's such a weird thing to do. I was just thinking, like, for Spirit Island, I could have written in this spreadsheet all of the abilities that the spirits had, and then it could, at a timed interval, go through them all in some UI element that was on the stream, so that you could read what the different stuff did. I found the use case, exactly. More harvesting, please. More harvesting, please. Is Arms Dealer by Gentle Alien? Probably. I don't really know. Do I buy Propeller Hat? I don't know that either. Maybe. Because now I get a free reroll. It was already free, but it means I get more free rerolls. I think a double barrel shotgun might kill one more thing for me. So seems worth doing. Mostly what we're looking for is really strong. Here. We're looking for strong stuff to lock next wave. And we're looking for some sort of like direction in what we're actually doing. And we're looking for good items. I think I'd rather buy Goat Skull than Charcoal. -2 harvesting seems kind of bad, but I'll take some sort of flat melee damage. I have a now formula and cycle based on that, but the now formula won't update itself, will it? Because I'm never actually inputting anything into the spreadsheet. Camelot, thanks for the 8 months, appreciate it. Crit shots? No, I don't think so. More luck. Take a bunch of flat melee damage. Alright. Melee damage it is. Lemonade's a decent-ish item. Plant is okay. Let's lock this for next time. Do I want this on wave 4? Not really. What if I just went Thief Daggers with Arms Dealer? Like I always lock a Thief Dagger in the shop before the next wave. And I just play Thief Daggers every single wave. Is it possible? I don't know. It could be. I have 20 luck, so weird food starts to get pretty good because I'm dropping more consumables. Does anybody else hate wave 2? It's so short. Which wave is it where you can get a loot goblin spawn, but it has 3 seconds before the end of the wave when it spawns? I hate that one. I don't know if that's wave 2 or 3. Although sometimes you do kill it, and then you feel really powerful. Can have an app script on a recurring timer. Mm-hmm. That would be the thing I had to do. I don't want any of these. I'll take that one. You want knockback? Should be okay. Wouldn't hate one more weapon. Maybe I'm okay. Range is nice. Take some range. Baby elephant, actually? The elephant will do okay, I think. I've seen the page that has all Spirit Island cards and spirits on a searchable library. I have seen a page like that, I think, yeah. I have all of the text from... We're probably talking about the same page. I have all the text from that in my spreadsheet, and I just have to work out how to do something with that text. Yes, I've seen that one. Shuriken's kind of bad. Am I going to die? Wave 5, dead. You Google the Spirit Island Twitch extension and the first result is my stream. Huh. My girlfriend watches my Twitch stream on her phone a decent amount. And so her Siri will recommend that she watches my stream because it knows that she watches my stream a lot. I just bought a bait, not a bait, a lure, and failed to kill either of the loot goblins that have spawned. Not great. And so I see it recommend that she watch my stream all the time, but I'm never live because I'm like sitting next to her while she looks at her phone. It's very weird. Very weird. Why were you recommended my stream, Twitch chat? What are you here to say? Hunting trophies, certainly a build around. I will need crit chance then. Here so you don't get fined. Alright, Marshawn. Hey, redneck! I like seeing the aliens explode. Hell yeah. Me too. Not feeling great about this run, to be honest. Oh my god, if we're adding, changing information elements to my stream, how long until I add an element for sports betting website? I am so down for 6 melee damage. Laundry is the exact item I want right now. Do I need dodge? I don't think so. Save Cactus Club for wave 8. An element for how long it will be until I add sports betting to the stream. Which is so wild to me. I guess they're US companies. Is that true? Are the sports betting sites generally US companies? I'm not sure a hunting trophy was the right thing to try to build around. We'll see how it goes. I got some crits that wave. I definitely got some crits. Cyberball, good. Attack speed, fine. Want a big spear? I think I'd like to be precise next wave to try to get thief daggers for wave 9. I don't think I need a spear next wave. I don't think a shuriken's sensible next wave either. Easy Dredge! Bet on JORBS stream times. Hey, Serpy boy. Fucking love Caleb. Hey, yippee. Hey, Benjamin Cluis. The Among Us golden era. The good old days. The name of the potato is hiding the money. Can it fit here? Is that okay? Or is that over something this wave? I may be stronger than necessary this wave. Arms Dealer is not a super weak potato, just because like the bonuses on it are enough that you'll mostly win when you play it. But it is one of the most mind-blowingly complicated potatoes to think about maximizing in the game. But it's fine because you don't have to maximize it all the way, you just have to like do fairly okay and then you win. If Arms Dealer had overall about a 50% win rate for me, which it doesn't, it has like, yeah, significantly higher than that. But if it overall had a 50% win rate for me, I would enjoy playing it a lot less, I think, because I'd feel like every single decision really, really mattered a lot. And the decisions are hard to make on this character. You have to constantly be thinking about whether you're strong enough for the next wave or not. So many claws, holy shit. So many claws. Rip and tear. Alright. I found one thief dagger. Grab Flaming Knuckles for next one. Horde Elite. Next workout where my webcam is meant to go. Shuriken gets Thief Daggers more because it isn't unarmed. Yeah, but Shuriken's terrible for White 9. That's why I didn't take Shuriken. That is a good example of how fine the maximizations for this character can be sometimes, though. The idea that you might not want Shuriken because of one of the weapon tags on it ruining something. I now have 2 hunting trophies. For Camelot. Sometimes the music's good. I have varied musical tastes. Sometimes I like listening to good music, and sometimes I like listening to bad music. Whether the music's good or not kind of depends on which day you get me on. Also, which one you think is good and which one you think is bad. Different people have different opinions. The math on a hunting trophy would be interesting, because it's not going to be linear. Like, crit chance isn't going to keep giving you more money per wave at the same rate. All the way from 0 to 100. I think I can take Triangle of Power. Because a crit deals more damage than a non-crit. So every time that you crit, you have a higher % chance to kill the enemy. Now for some attack speed. My sustain is my biggest problem right now. So if I could do something to help with that, that would be nice. Sustain and health, maybe. My health is also kind of low. 2 triangles of power? Armor is kind of sustain. It is. Armor is health and it's sustain. Armor is a good stat. For some characters, it's also damage. I wonder if I have a cold. Do y'all know when you're sick? I just, like, don't know. It used to be very evident to me that I was feeling different from usual when I was, like, a kid. But as an adult, like, I'm always like, something's going on. Maybe. Sometimes you know, other times you don't. Yeah, believable. Makes sense to me. This is a horde wave. What if there were more enemies in it? Would that be good? I think a tardigrade, I think. Because it's also plus 4% damage. Because the first time I take damage, I don't take damage, which means my 2 triangles of power don't get minus 4% damage net. Most of the time you can feel getting sick the day before. I wonder, maybe we can give me some credit here. Maybe I notice that I'm getting sick faster than I used to as a kid, and so I like, you know, hydrate and get good rest and stuff, and I don't actually end up getting fully sick anywhere near as often. In which case, really the case is that I know myself better than I used to. It would make some amount of sense for me to know myself better than I used to, as I have been trapped in my own body for longer now. This wave would be going better if I could work out how to pick up the materials. Okay, got it! That was a horde! Didn't seem too bad. Okay, take community support since there's another horde coming. Haven't used a lot of plasma sledgehammers in my day. You know, I think I could have bought the hand for less than reroll cost. And then I could have just sold it. Would have been better. Probably. Arguably. Probably need to get 2 more weapons. Okay. Hey, Flannel Violin, how are you? Good to see ya. How are you and yours? Hey, Mayashi, good morning. Mayashi, you always greet me by saying good morning. But it is often not the morning. I mean, this time it is. But I'm just noticing it because you had been saying good morning to me at like 9 PM very regularly, but now it's 9 AM. It's always morning somewhere. True. It's always Sunday somewhere. Today is Friday in California. It is, like it's a Wednesday here. Alright, this is a horde wave. I need to make sure that I get some weapons. I would prefer they weren't rocks, but I guess I will take rocks if they're what is offered to me. The way that I lose this run, like, I'm doing pretty well. The thing I need to make sure doesn't happen is me getting overwhelmed by enemies and a wave where I just didn't buy any weapons. So we need to get the weapons worked out first, and now that we've done that, we can think about actually... Let's lock this for next wave. Or maybe just buy it. I think about actually getting stronger. Third triangle of power works for me. Cheeky ghost weapon wave 15 maybe? Because the best time to eat breakfast is in the morning, and breakfast food is the best food. I kind of like dinner food the most, I think. Breakfast food is kind of... I don't know. Feels like there isn't as much variety. Arms dealer, by the way. Arms dealer. problem is that I need someone to sell to, and so I will use this power in order to make sure that there continue to be conflicts in the world. Actually massively problematic. I have 4 unupgraded ghost shows. Welcome to my emporium. I have definitely had a lot of very weird arms dealer runs with the little girl. Eventually, I decided that just going for melee weapons, because there are more melee weapons in the game than range weapons, basically, and you can just buy flat melee damage and then use any of them, was probably more sensible than trying to rewrite the entire works of Shakespeare from scratch every run, which is kind of what I feel like I was doing before I landed on the strategy. Don't really need any sustain if you only get hit once per wave. Interesting observation. Hash browns are the worst thing you can do with potatoes? Holy shit. There are not many potato opinions that risk getting banned on this channel. And yet here we are. No, I'm not gonna ban you. But I do not agree. It's okay. We can have a civilized disagreement. We don't have to agree on everything. I'm good, right? I don't need to roll more. Honestly, let's just lock, like, both of those and be ready for next wave. You'd rather eat them raw. Have you actually tried eating potatoes raw? They're not very good. There are some problems with the digestion as well associated with raw consumption of potato. The hobbits who are essentially professional potato eaters do not mention making hash browns out of potatoes. It's true. They do live in a terrifying, grimdark fantasy world. Maybe they just don't get to have nice things there. You don't lose all of your materials at the end of... Yeah, okay, good. I don't have a tier 4 item somehow. I don't know how that's true. I have 68 luck and we're at wave 17. But somehow it just never happened. Can I buy Weird Ghost here? I think so. Let's find out together, Twitch chat. I'll lock any melee weapon, basically. I wonder when the Brotato update will arrive. It's almost June! It was meant to come in June, right? When's the Elden Ring DLC? I said I was going to kill all the bosses before it happened, and then I haven't played it all this week. And been too invested in Spirit Island. June 21st. Alright, I got a little bit of time. I only have 10% of the bosses left. I'm sure the last 10% is as easy as, like, the first 10%, right? 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 Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. How do I feel about DLC that's integrated with the game, within the game, rather than something you select from a menu? You like it. I am pro. I am pro that thing. Maybe I should have bought crowns so that I would stop getting offered it. Alright, we look for any melee item. Lock. This is an elite wave. It's okay, I have so many hammers. Well, it is no longer an elite wave. Arms dealer. The tricky thing about Spirit Island is, while it becomes more complicated with more spirits, it actually also becomes easier for the players to win, I think. Because the adversaries do not scale with each other. If you play 4 boards of adversaries, it's basically the same as playing 1 board of adversaries 4 times. But if you play 4 boards of spirits, it is extremely dissimilar from playing 1 board with 1 spirit 4 times. Because the spirits will, like, target each other with abilities and go help each other and stuff. Zephyr appearance for the fans. That's Senia in the background. It's not Zephyr, that is my other cat. Find any melee weapon. Alright. We have melee weapons locked for wave 20, and we have enough stuff to beat wave 19. That should be it. You're a bigger fan of Xenia? She's extremely unassuming, and she is such a sweetheart. She is scared of pets, but anytime that she, like, calms down enough for pets to be okay, she is very appreciative of them. She doesn't ask for things, but is appreciative when she, like, gets food and everything. She's never scratched me. If I go, like, pick her up and take her to the vet or something, she will complain at me, but she will not get mad at me. She is such a sweet cat. She really hasn't had that hard a life since she was, like, 6 weeks old. The first 6 weeks, I don't know. They weren't great. But ever since she has lived with me, she has had a very easy life. Just calling it as it is. That does not mean that she thinks she has had an easy life, I guess. One more melee weapon. No? I'll take a lightning shiv. That's fine. Scissors? Has anyone been paying attention to which weapons do the best? That's kind of a fun thing to do as arms dealer. Because you have such weird weapons. Xenia is a... my ex found her in the gutter of a major street in LA when she was 6 weeks old and very sick. And at the time, feral. You would also complain if someone picked you up and took you to the doctor. Believable and reasonable. There are more connections between boards, so it's slightly harder to isolate areas when there are more spirits. Interesting. Interesting. I suppose that's true. Huh. I haven't played that many one-board games of Spirit Island. I went to 2 boards really quickly. I don't think that's noticeably changes from 2 boards to 4 boards, but I can see how it would change from 1 board to 2 boards. Brotato. Arms dealer with pistol, GG melee weapons. ManyJorbs is quivering in his boots. Oh no. ManyJorbs. ManyJorbs is about to throw real hard. I might be as well. The characters that ManyJorbs lost with are pretty hard characters, in fairness to ManyJorbs. Hey, Raging Fish. I might play some in a bit, but at the moment, another run of Brotato. Oh, it's streamer. Boop. God, that's so cool. Streamer's really weird. Streamer is hard to even understand, like even when you just like read it, because it's like 3 different things conceptually. There's a materials thing. The materials thing, you get more materials every second if you stand still for the entirety of a second, but you get less damage and less speed for holding materials. So you've got a little like thing going on there between standing still or not standing still and between saving or not saving materials. Because the materials you gain are also a percentage of the materials you have. So like you can decide, do I want to hold like 300 materials so I'm gaining 9 materials per second if I stand still, or do I want to hold like 100 materials so I'm stronger, or do I want to hold 600 materials, etc. You only get 25 max materials per second though. Then, like, so there's a saving versus spending thing. And then there's also the moving versus standing still thing. Standing still, again, makes you money. But moving gives you 40% extra damage and 40% extra attack speed. And then there's also, just like completely randomly, I don't know why, +2 armor for every structure you have. I don't know why that exists. But it certainly makes a lot of the items in the game better. So you can get very tanky by just like buying turrets and stuff. Why are you giving ManyJorbs so much shit? The real enemy is future Jorbs. Links in the title lyric. I want to show you something because I was talking about it and let's see if I can find it. No, it would be longer ago than that. Jorbs Long War 1 2018, maybe? Tools. Custom range. From... Future Jorbs hasn't even played his first run. That doesn't mean we shouldn't be afraid of him. Sorry, Google has very bad UI for this. Why is it so hard to find one of these videos? Let's say the Spire already. When did I used to play XCOM? Why did I tell Google to search for me playing XCOM? Oh, it's changed its mind and is now searching for any time again already. God, I told it to search a specific range of dates and then it just didn't. I hate Google so much. I wonder if the AI will tell me I'm a horse or something. This is unreal how hard it is to find my old XCOM content. I'm actually kind of concerned about this. This is my legacy. My legacy. Oh yeah, I just give up. If somebody else can find me playing Long War 1 with a bunch of spreadsheet information around the sides of the screen, I would love it if you could link that video though. Playlist on YouTube? Yeah, probably. So sad that we don't get armor from Pocket Factory. Oh well. Hey, Screwdriver seems like a good start. I am not familiar with starting Screwdriver, but conceptually it seems like a decent start. Because it gets me into engineering, which is one of the ways to play this character. Although, landmines require you to move around a lot. So I don't know about that. Each screwdriver gives me 2 armor though, which is nice. Streamer gameplay. So, how is everyone? Welcome to streamer. We cannot have harvesting. Grab a wrench, and I think that's what I'm using for this wave. No, the tree. When do I get 2 materials per standstill, by the way? Oh, nice. I have a triangle. Wait, why aren't they shooting at the things that are trying to shoot me? Oh my god, it stands directly between them. It's fine. It'll hit me for 2 sometimes. All right. Now materials are taking over. One of the interesting things about streamer kind of a thing you might not think about at first, is that you don't get experience for standing still. You only get materials. Usually when you pick up one of the little things on the ground, you get materials and experience. But when you stand still, you're only getting materials. Streamer caption is not under the picture. Very good. Seems to be working pretty well. 283 materials. We're getting there. Let's go to engineering. Let's go some HP regen. What I don't have, one of the things I don't have, is like any health whatsoever. I don't know if that's maybe important. There's an elite on wave 12. I don't have any luck. Guess I'll upgrade these a little bit. Cap my speed at -7. No, I don't think so. What if I capped my speed at -7? I don't think it actually caps at -7. Yeah, it caps at what it would be after you spend the money. -3 seems better than -7. And the HP regen seems super relevant. And 8 engineering is real good. Ow. Alright, we are getting a good amount of materials to spend every wave, which is the goal. Most of my turrets are here, actually, I guess. Gotta keep an eye on my materials. Like, it is possible to have enough materials that I'm in danger at this point. This looks pretty damn good. 700 to spend. And just like generally, if you are making twice as much money as other characters, you can, you know, you will win. That's generally my observation about the streamer. So that's what we're up to now. He just sits there and doesn't do anything. Artosas. What's the context of that one? My guess would be Artosis is raging against his opponent in StarCraft Ladder. but it could also be commentary on a professional. I think it's probably StarCraft ladder. Was this mad about Protoss opponent? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Believable. Need to not get too greedy here. Let's grab another 100 materials. Let's... Okay. Okay, relax. Hey, it worked. Minus 31 speed at the moment. Like wings. Is that a red turret? Oh, I already had a red turret. Oh, well. We can go bait on wave 9, I think that's fine. Red turret is quite a lot better than not red turret. Hot take. Stop it! I have another 10 seconds still. Okay, 1200 materials. Another 250 materials. Maybe not quite that much. Almost, though. More screwdrivers? Actually, kind of don't want more screwdrivers. Oy. Who's after streamer? Is that when I started losing? Is it Cyborg? I hope it's not Cyborg. Fucking Cyborg. Be careful. Just make sure I can still move every now and then. Yeah, maybe we actually stop farming materials for a bit here. Because, like, at some point I actually can't move and it becomes dangerous. Alright, let's chill out now. Sure. I'd like more speed. Cool. More speed equals more money per wave, basically, at the moment. Because it means I can bank more stuff and still dodge. -% damage for having stuff too? Yes, I do get -% damage and -% speed for the materials that I have. Maybe we don't need screwdrivers anymore. 6 red wrenches on the way. I have a lot less HP regen than I thought I had. Should still be going mostly okay though. I took 4 damage from that shot. That's like not very much damage. Wave 11 is scary. These things run at you, and if one of them gets on me and I can't run away from it, I will die pretty quick. You know, Streamer and Arms Dealer both have a lot of wave by wave trying to track exactly how strong you need to be. Ever thought about how they both have that back to back before? We could take this. I think it I'll do it. It's a little scary. Like, it can kill me, is the problem. More speed? More speed. Alright, now I have enough speed so that I'm no longer in much danger of slowing down too much. I'm just going to go a little bit heavy on rerolls because it's an elite wave. No pierce. I don't know what that means. Piercing damage, do you mean? Like, red turrets don't pierce, so. Was there a sharp bullet that I didn't buy? If there was a sharp bullet and I didn't buy it, it's wrong. I should have bought it. I skipped sharp bullet. Yeah, I should have bought that. My bad. I thought you meant the... I forget which fruit is the one that gives more piercing damage, but I thought you meant that I hadn't bought the fruit that gives more piercing damage. Could use more engineering, huh? Explosive turrets are kind of low damage, actually. Alright, a little bit less rich this time. Piggy bank on streamer. Seems okay. Let me do some math here. I have 30 speed right now. Every 30 materials I get brings that down by 1. So in terms of speed, I can go up to 30 times 33 is 990. I can go up to 1600 speed before I start losing speed at all. I am losing damage percent, but my turrets don't care about damage percent. That's why turrets are good on streamer. One of the reasons why turrets are good on streamer. They also give you 2 armor for some reason. Just in case the other stuff wasn't good enough. Kinda close to 1600 materials. Also, I have a bunch of things standing on top of my face. So I'm gonna run around for a bit. 1800 materials. Let's go more HP regen over engineering. Engineering and more speed. I like max HP. Okay with luck. I like free reroll. Kind of like this. Just makes me a lot more tanky. Like a turret because it also has 2 armor on it. I'm extremely tanky. I should be able to go to like 2000 speed before I actually lose speed now. Or 2000 materials rather, before I actually lose speed. I wondered why we passed the first alien magic. I think I was more concerned about damage at the time. I don't really know. I did see it and choose not to buy it, but maybe that was just wrong. Anyway, this has worked. I do kind of like luck. I think it's a good stat, so things that have minus luck on them making me a bit sad. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, good character, huh? Pocket factory, sure. I can spend down to like 1,000. Streamers, the watcher of Brotato. You have some pretty awkward starts on streamer. Once you're through the start, you do pretty well usually. That has at least been my experience. Bring this over here. Oh wow, it doesn't take damage. It kind of takes damage. Killing the elite is the first priority, and then we can stand still afterwards. Why doesn't it charge? I guess we just weren't up to that part of the wave yet. Isn't this meant to charge you in the first part, though? Do we just walk sit you? I don't know, I feel really confused right now. Dodge. Hey, how do we stand still if we're moving around? Oh no. Fair question. I have 41% dodge. Why? Why do I have 41% dodge? That's kind of strange. Kind of wild how much scarier Smiley is than every single other elite. Yep. Agree. It'd be cool if there was a backpack for storing an extra weapon for combining and stuff. That would be cool. I agree. Oh. Oh. God. Close wave. Oh, all of my explosive turrets are over here. annoying to pass on several blues when you're trying to make a red. Sure. Well. Schmoop. For example, in this shop phase, I could have put together enough for a red wrench if I had the ability to store stuff. Like several times over. An elite wave. Oh my god, we have a little artillery battery. Explosive turrets down here. What if I just stood still, actually? Oh, wow. Okay, I was working a bit harder than I needed to, apparently. Close run. Close run. He just stands still! He just does nothing! I don't know if I have a good artosis in my wheelhouse. Boom! Ooh. My attack speed? Attack speed isn't modified by this, though. Excalibur! If I would like to deal 1 damage, Excalibur could be an option. Should have just bought a fairy. I've rolled it like 700 times at this point. Does explosion damage / size affect the red target? It does. Did I skip an explosion damage? I've been skipping a few things I should have bought this run. I skipped the big bullet. Maybe I didn't want the downsides of it. I don't remember what the downsides are. Statue would have been a flex. I don't even see statue when it's in the shops, so it's very unlikely you'll ever see me buy statue, because even when it's good, I don't notice it's there. I've just like... my brain is helping me to simplify the game a little bit by choosing not to see statue. Do decisions even matter here? I think if I sold all of my weapons, I would still lose. Why not padding? Well, padding seems pretty good too. Can we? We can, right? See, y'all have like... okay, maybe not y'all, but... some of you have a what is the best possible thing we could buy here kind of approach to the shops right now, whereas my approach to the shops is more like, how close can I get to killing myself without dying? Too late for vigilante rank. It's never too late to become a vigilante. So, what's new with you, Twitch chat? Last day at your current job and you're very excited to be done. Congratulations. Do you have something next already, or are you gonna get to take some time to yourself? Not a great wave for lure, really. It's unfortunate that stone skin doesn't work properly here. Well, this is certainly a way to play streamer. 2 community supports. I kind of don't think there are any enemies on the map. There's no reason not to just roll down now, right? Like, there's no reason to have materials anymore. We go to wave 20, which is the final wave. We get stronger by spending our materials, so... Barricades! Maybe I can find another statue. Oh, sharp bullet. Italian Paran, thanks to 4 years! Just got back from the library. Nice. Haven't been to the library in a while. Maybe I'll go to the library tomorrow. That actually sounds really sweet. I have a nebulous day tomorrow. I do have dinner plans, but I'm not expecting myself to stream on weekends. This is my approach to self-care. I could stream. I'm allowed to. So I could stream tomorrow, or I could do house chores, of which there are plenty. I could easily busy myself with yard work and laundry and vacuuming and stuff. Or I could go to the library. Or I could do some combination of these 3 things. And then dinner? That sounds like a really good day. I'm looking forward to it. That'll be a good day tomorrow. I could also learn how to juggle. Wow. I can't believe this. Seriously? As if there was any way that Jorbs wouldn't know how to juggle. Are you kidding me? What do you think I do with my time? I also feel vaguely congested. Maybe I'll just spend tomorrow sleeping. Cyborg. Oh. Oh. What do we start with? Double barrel shotgun the cyborg. Some context for you. I'm exactly even with past Jorbs. We both lost on the same character. Which one did we both lose on? Who is that? Lucky. We both lost on Lucky. Yeah, we did. Interesting. But other than that, we have lost on different characters so far. Past Jorbs lost 4 runs in a row now. So this is like the exciting part of the entire thing. This is what we've been building up to. Can I win some of these to improve my PB? And then I like went win-loss, 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 win-loss through the end. I did very badly in the back third of the Brotato characters. I think I lost my bull run, which is like the only bull run I've lost in a long time. The classic conundrum: have a full delightful day doing things outside or spend all day sleeping. Actually, I need to use the bathroom as well. I should have just done that when I went upstairs. But I had to show you I could juggle. I'll take my juggling balls back now. I'll be right back. I don't understand why I struggle with this character. Let's look at my notes, actually. Did to first elite plus tanky aliens didn't dodge well. 5 wrenches. Biggest differences between loss and win were elite on wave 11 easier than wave 12 and found wrenches more easily and earlier. Okay. Tried out only ranged weapons, died to a wave 12 horde unsurprisingly. Sure. I've decided I like 4 times wrench, 2 times range weapon. Range weapon can be variable and then blending stats appropriately. Have to dodge well in early elite waves. Okay. Plank seemed fine. I bought blood donation and decided to die. Thanks, past Jorbs. 100 to 0 and under a second against chases after taking no knockback. Sold a shotgun which would have protected me. Oh. Alright. So my notes say if I keep these 2 guns and add 4 wrenches, I will win. That's what my notes say. If I don't get Smiley on wave 11 or 12. I wonder if it's true. Oh. How do I even find wrenches? Hold on, there's a problem. Can you play luck, Cyborg? I can't even read it all. It goes off the bottom of the screen. I feel like you can play luck, Cyborg, in theory. Damage percent and luck are unaffected by any of this. Okay, a screwdriver that connects to wrench. You should want lifesteal for sustain with a minigun, I imagine. Could take 1 ranged damage. I already have 7. Second the harvesting. Lifesteal? I don't think so. I think you just look for more damage or something. That's not it. I'll take a little bit of speed. Speed's okay. Wrench? Wrench? Oh, I meant to take knockback for wave 11. There is a wave 12 elite. I start saying, like, I feel like I'm building toward a very specific thing on this character. but I also feel like I'm like stronger than usual at the very start because of my minigun, such that it's not unreasonable to try to go for a very specific thing. Want a scared sausage? Elemental damage doesn't work at all. Probably not. Range damage or harvesting? I think harvesting. I wanted the boxing glove. So the reason I need a boxing glove is there are chasers who will just run me down in wave 11 and 12, I think, and another one. And this way my minigun can knock them away from me. Does it work? I don't know, maybe. What a metal. Kind of expensive. Take one. Turrets. I definitely still don't have a wrench. So at the moment, my latter half of the wave is me shooting for one with a minigun a lot. I have a few landmines. But yeah, this is not very good, huh? Take some luck. More speed. We're gonna hide from things, maybe. I wonder if I, like, can't buy more shotguns. I want to go to a red shotgun eventually. I did say I wanted lifesteal. Okay. You are kind of trying to be good at two different things on this character, which I guess increases your chance of missing because you have to hit twice instead of once. Good. Incendiary turret's great. I think I'm taking more harvesting over luck. Baby with a beard. Here's the thing. Baby with a beard only works for the first half of the wave, right? I don't think the first half of the wave is the hard one. I think I skipped that. The wrench. Huge. You just need a wrench that also shoots bullets. Unironically, that's what a plank is. Plank is very good on this character. I don't believe I've seen one yet. I'll let this one on the left spawn. Let's make a couple more materials. Maybe Cyborg should have some sort of you get more armor type of stat. To compensate for how shit all the rest of your stats are. The numbers turn blue at the halfway mark. Correct, yeah. That's when your range damage turns into engineering. Cycling machine, is it too slow? I don't think so. Why couldn't there just been 50% of your range damage instead of 100% of your range damage? Yeah, I don't know. Plank does work. Like you can just win with plank. I'm pretty sure. I think I've only tried it once. And it sounded like I bought a blood donation and died. But I'm pretty sure conceptually that if you don't deliberately throw or thereabouts. I won't say I did that deliberately. I wanted to see what would happen. Look. If you don't choose to die, I'm pretty sure you can win with plank. I feel like this lifesteal doesn't do anything. Is lifesteal just terrible? Maybe lifesteal is just terrible. Attack speed is... I guess if I get to improved tools, it becomes pretty good. I'll take it. Or turrets. Turrets do not inherit lifesteal now. I now have a red shotgun. More turrets. If I combine the shotgun, I will have a red shotgun anyway. The idea of the lifesteal is that my minigun shoots very, very fast. But yeah, I think maybe the math is actually that HP regen was better, despite the speed that the minigun shoots. I don't know. I don't usually go for lifesteal, but also I don't usually have a minigun at the start of the run. Get that loot goblin dead. Okay, have a bunch of money. Another incendiary turret. Another tree. Both good. Nope. Actually, maybe speeding up burn proc is good with incendiary turrets, huh? 3 range damage, that's actually my stat. Percent damage doesn't matter very much, right? It doesn't affect my turrets. I guess it affects my... I'll take it. It affects like random things I get that deal damage. Like a broken mouth. Another wrench. I want 2 shotguns. Remember when HP regen was only X every 5 seconds? I don't. Is that a thing? I have no recollection of that. Baby with a beard is here to make me feel bad again. Okay, we're starting to get some wrenches going. I do not have any armor. I get like 2 shot. I guess I want flat range damage. Why is Jack Johnson such a vibe? There is a reason why he was immensely popular. There are reasons why he's not anymore as well. I mean, still more popular than me. I suppose. Probably just barely. Does this survive wave 11 and then a wave 12 elite? I'd give myself some percentage chance that it does. Higher than 0. No red wrench is unfortunate. Is blue wrench worse on engineer because your incendiary turrets spawn next to each other? I think blue wrench is just pretty bad on everybody. It's my hot take. But it's just like my opinion. I suppose. I think buy alien eyes. 2 alien eyes? Okay. Jack Johnson is the guy who wrote the book about wolves. No, that's Schopenhauer. Who wrote the book about wolves? I don't... Is that Into the Wild? Is that about wolves? That was about mountain climbing. Jack London. There are many books about wolves? Really? Why? Seems like we would only need one. How much is there to say? I say as I log on for my 17,000th Brotato run. Well, this is going okay. This seems just fine. Maybe I have solved Cyborg. Do I take that? Probably. Projectiles pierce. Seems good. Armor is good. No. I'm gonna take range damage and hope that I can kill this elite, I think. There's more to say about potatoes wielding weapons. Always. Always. I'll take this. Going above 0 HP regen is actually kind of relevant. I can go for 1 red turret. I think I will. Okay. It's a relatively easy elite. I think I want a cyborg. Alright. I'm still very low HP. I did this entire wave without getting hit so far. If I do get hit, I think like half my health is gone. But it's harder to get hit when the map is this clear, I guess. Sure. 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 Did I just get rid of my lifesteal? Probably. Eh. 1% damage for every permanent 1% speed you have. It's 10% damage. Do I want 10% damage for that much money? I think I'd rather have an acid. Thank you very much. The only way I would lose now is by dying. Yep, it's nice to have all of the other loss conditions off the table, like internet outage. How many of you play online games which are regularly decided by someone's internet going out? I feel like internet connections are fairly reliable these days. Sometimes I play like chess on the bus though, and we'll go through spots where either my internet is out or I will be playing against an opponent whose internet is out. I was just kind of like, I don't know. It's like the moment where like the lights go off for a second and you see your own reflection in the computer monitor. What am I doing here? Why am I trying to play chess against a person who I cannot even connect to? It was probably a bigger deal when internet connections were less reliable back in the day. Thinking back to Halo 2 days where that was every match. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, right? Surely there's something else that I could be doing. More Pierce? I already have 1 Pierce, right? I don't know that 2 Pierce does that much. I think 1 Pierce is enough. I'm taking more attack speed with an expectation that someday I will find improved tools. Will I someday find improved tools? I don't know. But I'd like to. Hey, it's improved tools. Alright, this is another elite fight. So another chance to die. Maybe I take a baby with a beard because it's another elite fight. And it isn't expected to do anything in the latter half of the wave, but against elites, if I can kill them before the latter half of the wave, which I believe I can, baby with a beard seems like a good pickup. Yeah. Nice. I think that's the 3rd time I've been offered it, and I didn't buy it the previous 2 times because I felt like the first half of the wave was a lot easier for me than the second half, and it only does stuff in the first half, and has a -50 range on it. How do these people rage quit instead of having their internet go out? That makes me feel even worse. If I am playing a game against an opponent and they rage quit from the game, I just like, I don't, like, why are the 2 of us here? I thought we were meant to be having fun. Nuclear launcher is kind of interesting. How much explosive damage do I have? 15%. Probably not enough. There's a fighting game where if you DC, you don't get a loss. I'm sorry. There has to be more to the story than that. Did I just buy 3 coupons in 1 shop phase? I feel like I did. Does the game have any sort of serious ladder? Because, like, if a game like that had anything that rewarded people for winning a lot, you would just disconnect every time you were going to lose. Allowing you to never lose. Surely I'm not the first person who's thought of this. You do see someone's disconnection rate I have a question. I could work this out myself, but I figure someone in chat will tell me the answer. Does attack speed affect how quickly screwdrivers make mines? It does. Alright. Cool. That's all. Lower Karna games are best of 2, but the math they decided to use means that you can potentially draw every round. After your first 2, you get top 8 of a 7-round tournament. So like... But... Huh. Is it only with improved tools? Oh, okay. Does Screwdriver kind of give you a landmine item? And landmine items are improved by improved tools? Look at how many landmines I have. Like, clearly improved tools is making me add more landmines. This seems like it must be true. I only have 2 red screwdrivers. It probably helps that everything's dying so quickly that it doesn't actually explode the landmines, so they just stack up over the course of the wave. I got a warrior hat and a helmet. I can upgrade my minigun. It doesn't feel worth it. Oh, maybe we just... I don't need that anymore, do I? Feels like I couldn't possibly need it anymore. And I've taken knockback. Taking knockback key to fighting these enemies who would otherwise run at me and deal damage to me. Now they just run away from me. Elite died fast? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure why, but if I work it out, I'll let you know. I think I'm getting a lot of money every wave, but I don't know why. I don't have that much harvesting. I have a bit of harvesting. I might have multiple bags and some luck, maybe. Look, I don't know what's going on. Cyborg seems like a broken character. I don't understand how anyone could ever lose as this character. I don't have any triangles of power, right? This is fine. I have 3 bags and a bunch of trees. Yeah, I think that helps. That's a much cheaper way to get a red minigun. I have died to dealing myself 1 damage per second with a triangle of power before. Okay. Let's try to work out why this is so good. I have 70 ranged damage. Range damage modifications are increased by 250%. Okay, I worked it out. That was not... That didn't take very long, actually. I've been conceptually trying to lower my caffeine and sugar intake. I say conceptually. Am I being successful? I don't know. I don't know. It's a direction I'm aiming, but I'm not sure how much progress I'm making. Today, I have not had any caffeine yet. And it's 11:12 a.m. This is probably why I don't know what's going on around me. Wait, did I drink some of this actually? Maybe I had already drank some of that. I have little miniature things of soda so that I don't have a big thing of soda. This way I will drink less. That's the theory. It's a lot of particles we're emitting. Yeah, how's the frame rate? Sometimes this game can struggle with encoding a little bit as you get into late game. It's not being a good shop phase. Take periodic breaks from caffeine, and it's always the day after the day you stop that hurts. I feel like I have a pretty, like, exacting understanding of how caffeine and sugar intake affects my body because I have such a measurable thing that I do every day. Like, I track my results in games, right? And I can track how many hours I stream as well. And so you can just look at the data and see. And my experience with caffeine and sugar has been that it actually, like, makes me do better for a week or two. And then afterwards, I usually kind of stabilize into a state that was worse than before I started having it, or whatever. The Teravingian test, sure. Which is kind of like, I think where people might be more used to that is like if you're going to work really hard on something. Well, I don't know. Do other people do this? If you have like a 12-hour workday, does anybody try to wait on caffeine until like 8 hours in and then have some caffeine? I was gonna say that like obviously everybody does that, but I don't know. Maybe that isn't actually a universal thing that people do. You don't think you've had a 12-hour workday? Oh my gosh, I am very jealous. Cutting caffeine takes serious commitment. Eventually you level out and are more energized throughout the day. It doesn't actually give you energy on a chemical basic. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think when I start drinking caffeine, I notice the opposite of that. I go from a good baseline to temporarily buffed by caffeine to a lower baseline when the buff normalizes. Did our engineering buff even matter? I think it did something, yeah. So, I mean, it didn't in the last wave because it was dead before. But 100% of your range damage was temporarily converted into engineering halfway through a wave. So, like, in the latter half of the wave, I very genuinely was not able to kill things with just my guns. It is... You deal a lot less damage when you go from 70 flat range damage to 0 flat range damage. Obviously. I'm drinking more caffeine recently and have noticed distinctly worse sleep even when you don't drink in your bed. Oh yeah. Yeah, caffeine is not great for good sleep. That is not what it's known for. It's not good for helping you sleep. Not quite its tempo. Double barrel shotgun, kept minigun, shotgun, and went for wrenches, screwdrivers. Round out, knockback, helpful, got enough ranged damage to kill elites. First 50%. All right, Hey, guess what? We're ahead again! There's very little pressure, because the next time ManyJorbs wins is 4 runs from now. You're mildly annoyed by the column names. Character wave notes. Oh yeah, those are wrong. I wonder how long those have been wrong for. Forever? Probably like actually half a year or more. I did not choose to die. Not choosing to die was key. Not choosing to die was key. We are on the final row. When you are trying to say if something's a row or a column for a grid of data, do you instantly know which one it is, or do you have to think about it? It's probably kind of like left and right, where some people will like just instantly know what is left and what is right, and some people have to think. You like the L. You just know it's not that hard. I often instinctually think what I want to call it, but then have to do a check to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Columns stand up. Are you thinking about like temples in ancient Greece? Glutton. How'd I play Glutton? I mean, I think I lose a lot is how I play Glutton. 3 times Pruner, 3 times Shredder, easy game. Dove at last second and died with 1 second left for the 2nd time in a row. Well, that's not right. That's not the right way to do it. Just found Pruner immediately and played Pruners to rocket launchers. Okay. Bull plus 14 elite. I don't know what that means. I actually don't know what that means. Only got to 62 luck for consumable creation, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Dodged into elite damage 4 times in a row, whoops. Okay, I mean, that's on you, ManyJorbs. Never found good damage really and got run down. Yeah, I have struggled with Glutton. I think in here, if I remember right, this is a somewhat expensive spreadsheet. You can go to Glutton, which is apparently 2 and 4. As of that Cyborg win, this is my worst character, other than Fisherman, which doesn't count. Not because I don't have a low win rate or whatever. Yes, 14% win rate is very low. It's because like 30 of the losses are deliberate, which make it less meaningful. Yeah, this is a very large spreadsheet. So if I go here, I can see my notes on Glutton. Don't take damage wave 1 to proc passive explosion damage up. So I need to make sure not to take damage in wave 1 so that when I get consumables, I'm at full health. Starting weapon rating. I like Pruners, Chopper, Thief Dagger, Fist. I somewhat like Plank and Shredder. I don't like Hatchet, Jousting Lance, or Screwdriver. Stat prio is melee damage, armor, luck, and harvesting. Luck gives consumable drops for healing and damage. Melee build gives more damage on passive procs. Alright. Back to main. Oh my god, there's a thing to click to go back to main. This spreadsheet is so good. Thank you, ManyJorbs. Now I will finish defeating you. What a fun spreadsheet. Will I ever bother to map out decision trees? Don't know if I'm good enough. Shredder start. Right. Don't take damage. I mean, if I don't drop any consumables, it doesn't matter anyway. Nice. My spreadsheet says I want melee damage. Take some luck. We get to play Pruner Glutton. Alright. Okay. So with Pruner, we get 1% more explosion damage when picking up a consumable while at max health. Consumables have a 100% chance to explode for a bunch of damage when picked up. Magic thinks to 31 months. Ramclaw thinks to 19 months. I'm trying to work out if I want to solve this so that I can get more pruners. This is kind of terrible. I think I do. Alright, cool. So the reason Pruner is good is that it interacts with 2 parts of our passive. Actually, 3 parts of our passive, I guess. Whenever I pick up a consumable, if I'm at full health, I get plus 1% explosion damage permanently. And pruners make gardens, which make consumables over the course of a wave. So I just got like 4% explosion damage or something. Whenever I pick up a consumable, it explodes. That's another thing. So they're a way to deal really good damage, and then the explosion is based off melee damage, and pruners deal damage with melee damage. So that melee damage should be good here. And that's the idea. Why did I pass on dynamite? It's not good at the moment, is why. The amount of stats it gives me are not enough to justify its cost. It's really hard to find something that is worth buying that isn't a weapon at the start of the game, because weapons give you so much stuff if you don't have full weapons yet. Down with this, down with this, down with this. So yeah, usually the stuff that I will buy before I have 6 weapons is going to be flat damage that is good for my weapons. Flat damage is really good early, very efficient. Harvesting. Because harvesting scales so quickly if you get it early. Or weapons. I think that's basically it. Oh. I think I want this. 20% pickup range seems like it's good with picking up consumables. Speed seems like it's good with picking up consumables. This is fine. Actually, pretty good defective steroids, I think. Now that we're at 5 weapons, we can start thinking about some other stuff. Oh, I bought Gentle Alien, I guess. Gentle Alien because I'm strong enough, and plus 5% enemies gives you more econ, basically. Gentle Alien's a very good item if you can buy it without dying. The extra 5% enemies that you're fighting will give you enough extra materials to more than make up for the fact that there are 5% extra enemies on the wave, as long as you don't die to them straight away. Gentle Alien's very similar to harvesting, really. It's like scaling economic purchase. Now, the only tricky thing is I have to play Pruner Glutton, which is actually kind of hard. We do have plus 25% item price, minus 25% XP gain, so we have to be getting value out of the passive. Have we done Brotato Excel sheets or playing by feel/loose Bayesian reasoning? Have I done Brotato Excel sheets? I have done Brotato IntelliJ programs. I'll have you know. Garden's very good. Finish up the pruner. I don't know what you're all talking about. It seems like too much stuff, and also I don't really want to read it. But I'm sorry to hear that, or happy for you. So the reason luck is such a big stat for Glutton is that luck increases the chance of consumables dropping from enemies. So I think I have to probably focus on taking more of that around about now. Some more health and armor would be nice, but it is kind of expensive. Yes, I did immediately find a lucky hat. Oh, I was trying to let that spawn. My bad. Oof. Whew! This character's fun. It is a lot more fun when you get to play with pruners than when you don't start pruner and don't find one, which is kind of miserable. Font riposte, probably not. Propeller hat again. I have 6 flat melee damage. I could use more of that. Outer Emissary, thanks for the 5 months. Gladden has a bonus for finding pruners. Is that true? I didn't realize that. I didn't know that weapons could be part of the tags that characters had. Are you sure that's true? Now I need an improved tools. Also come down here. Woo! Any improved tools in the shop? More pickup range seems fine. Melee damage seems fine. I was just commenting that I didn't have much of that yet. I think a bag's pretty good with 75 luck, probably. I could also think about a weapon that deals explosive damage. Like a plank. Like a plank. I mean, watching Brotato 2 times speed. That's a lot of fast dodging. I don't know if I can do that for you live. I think Ugly Tooth. I don't really want planks. They are explosive, which connects to nuclear launcher. Alright, fine. I'll take one. Whoops, Super Scry. It sounds like an awkward flaw in your plan, perhaps. I think I'm gonna sell my plank. It isn't even dealing any damage. And the pruner damage is not considering the gardens that they make. Yeah, I gotta sell this plank. Alright. Also, the pruners are scaling me, and they're giving me harvesting. Okay. We sell the plank, we sell the plank, it's fine. I would like some survivability. Might take one armor. Oh wait, deal. That's survivability? Sorry about that, plank. My mistake. Spicy sauce kind of works with what I'm doing. We don't have a wave 11 elite. Feels ideal. Hordes should be pretty good because more enemies equals more consumable drops anyway. I'm just not strong enough to walk through the middle of the enemies yet, so hard to actually pick up the consumables. I've realized that pickup range doesn't affect how far away you pick up consumables from, by the way. It only affects some materials. I didn't know that prior to this run, I don't think. Not usually a stat I buy. Or pay attention to. Maybe that's more a thing. I buy it a decent amount, but usually I don't really notice what it's doing. Isn't picking up consumables the actually important thing, though? Weird. It does if you're missing HP. Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well then. That makes sense. Horde wave! Oh, thanks, Charlotte. Nice that somebody pointed that out for me. Jeez, don't know what the rest of you are up to. That means my DPS is higher if I'm wounded. Isn't that interesting? Oh yeah. Exactly what I was hoping for. More armor is good. Don't think I want a minigun. How's my explosion damage? 249% now. So we are doing okay on explosion damage. A little bit concerned about survivability still. I'm just going to keep on buying nice hats and assume that that's fine. Nice of the loot dude to run on top of 3 fruits and die. Oh, I had it all planned out. I saw that coming from 40 seconds away. Untrue, by the way. So pickup range is actually really important for pruner builds, Glutton then. This feels worth making a note of. Because now every time I get hit, I immediately full heal and kill everything around me, basically. More flat melee damage might be okay. I'm starting not to one-shot things. Take armor, take max HP. That thing's good. BB elephant ever? I have 97 luck. Oh wait. Do I want this? So I have 282% explosion damage. I feel like flat melee damage is probably better. This is what I'm being offered, though. I wanted the gloves, regardless. So buy the gloves and lock the explosion damage. Good. Good. If you regen HP fast enough after taking damage, the consumable can still give you bonus damage. Maybe I don't want Alien Eyes. Alien Eyes seems kind of bad. It does not deal explosions. That gives me more HP recovered from consumables, though. That's good. More max HP is good. More pruners are good. More melee damage is good. Your entire paycheck on Jorbs packs and it only got a common ManyJorbs? I didn't know there were common ManyJorbs. Should we put more of the alt art stuff in there? Like Wizards does with Magic the Gathering? I need to work out how to kill that, but it won't walk toward my consumables. It's not behaving. Oh my god, it's still alive. Okay. There was slightly too much information to parse on screen for a while there. Not the most fun wave. Not the most fun wave. I just took my hands off the controller to write that I would won the game into the spreadsheet, by the way. Oh, hey Kane, how are you? I hope you're doing well there. Do I have a regular bedtime? Sometimes. Gracias, thanks for 42 months. Did I see the loot goblin those last 15 seconds? Yeah, I saw that it was there. I believe I bought lure, didn't I? I don't know. I didn't kill it though. Ooh, extra stomach. Okay. Previous claims that I have now won the run. Feeling less exaggerated. Unfortunately, I'm very bad at killing the things that spawn from those aircraft carrier aliens. I'm gonna call them aircraft carriers. I'm sure you know what I mean. We have crested 1,000 damage on explosions, though. Explosion size would be pretty nice. Do they make those anymore? Plastic explosives. The cool end game is just making... The true end game is just making a cool looking potato. Do you think my potato looks cool? What about now? Alright, we found potato. That should be GG then. Wait. Am I meant to... Is Endless done with Bloodin, not Artificer? I feel like it is, actually. I think I was wrong when I was talking about Endless on my Artificer run. Your girlfriend says that you love me. She says that she will buy me a bagel from Rubenstein's. Never heard of this before. Rubenstein's. Oh, it's a bagel place in Seattle. I don't know it. That's very kind. It's very kind of your girlfriend. Or you. Or whatever. I'm a bit confused by the whole thing. Hey, plastic explosive. She loves me and bagels. Those are solid priorities. Demon with Ghost Scepter or Glutton. Sure. Yeah. That sounds right. Why is it Demon with Ghost Scepter? I don't, like, understand why. It is not immediately obvious. I'm sorry, did that just say 18,000? No, it said 1,800. Still, though, it said 1,800. Isn't that, like, wasn't I dealing 1,300 last wave? What happened? I got a bit more flat melee damage. Wow. I'm getting hundreds of life per round with Demon and Endless between everything. Oh, because Demon lets you convert materials into health at a flat rate, which isn't affected by inflation, I guess. Is that why? That would make sense to me. Maybe I got like mastery or something last shop phase. Maybe that's why. I think this elite wave will look less threatening than the previous one. Call it a hunch. Hey, Grudgy! You're welcome. Oh boy. Where are all my consumables, game? Can I make it come this way? Oh boy. We are less scaling. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of the most conceptually broken builds in the game. Like in terms of... There are other builds which would be doing this just as easily right now, but in terms of how this continues to just get better and better and better and better and better. Sure. Sure. No. Yep. Uh-huh. But I enjoy more potato references in this game. I actually think it should branch out into other foods. That's what I actually want. I feel like we have explored the concept of a potato with guns a lot, but we know very little about, like, what a strawberry with guns would be like. I guess I can walk through the wave now. I think past JORBS was just bad at the game, honestly. Cool. GG. Found pruners in shop 1. What? What? I don't know what I just pressed. Pickup radius was actually hugely important. Game weeks you want to play more Cult of the Lamb. Some of Cult of the Lamb is kind of similar in terms of graphics and controls, right? I didn't play that much of that game, but I don't feel like that is unreasonable at all. I need to stretch my legs. I've been streaming for 3 hours. I have a headache. Oh. I'm gonna stretch my legs. Who's next? Glutton Jack? Oh my god. Let's look at the thing that will make us happier instead of the thing that will make us sadder. What percentage of video games contain potatoes or potato imagery? 100%. Oh my god, it's so nice outside. I honestly might go for a walk for lunch. We'll see. We'll see. I'll be right back. Hello. This is where the really hard potatoes start. I do think the bottom row is harder than the... I think if you look at this, that up until like here probably, like prior to Hunter, the vast majority of the potatoes are pretty easy. And after Hunter, in my opinion, they're a lot trickier. Life is so good right now, chat. The sun is out, my cat is lying on the windowsill, relaxing. There's fresh food, I have made myself a sandwich. And cantaloupe. My girlfriend cut up cantaloupe. Am I aware of the material stacking bug on Jack can significantly affect his econ if unaware? What's the material stacking bug on Jack? I didn't know about this. I'm very bad at Fisherman. The thing is, I don't know how to play Fisherman in a way that is trying to win very well at all. So, no. Explain. Explain to me. What is this? Type. If you let 50 plus materials gather on the ground, Jack starts to lose materials when you kill enemies. Alright. That's weird. But good to know. Somebody once told me that that was how it worked with all characters. And then I was really stressed out playing the game. Like, I have to pick up the materials or I won't make as much money. It makes sense that it would be bugged like that for Jack. I can see how the bug could exist. Shurikens. Unfortunately, Jack is not a very good character for thief daggers. I don't understand, Jack. It's fine. We'll just die. How does anyone ever win with Jack? Has anyone ever won with Jack? Anyone in chat? Have you ever won with Jack? Would I say that I don't know Jack? There you go. You win with Jack the most? Holy shit. One with revolver. I win with all of them in one rotation, I try to win with all of them in 2 rotations in a row, I guess. Fuck. I have done okay with shurikens on Jack before. You know that I'm giving shurikens a legit try? Yeah, I think they're fine. I wouldn't say good. They're not what I would have picked, but... Weird with the materials bug. Whatever. Let's find hunting trophy to take advantage of the 2 enemies on the map. Easy game. Oh, so close. At least I feel like that was close. I don't know, maybe it wasn't actually close. Galbot, how are you? I am doing well. Early waves with Jack are not too bad. It's later. It's later that becomes a problem. I still don't have any harvesting. I'm just gonna roll for 8 harvesting, I think. Bit weird because, does Jack not get offered harvesting? I didn't know that. Jeez. Okay, we just won't have any money. I recently discovered Royal Lotus, yeah. Oh. Five harvesting. More harvesting. Why is Jack called Jack? I always assumed it was the Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. He goes to a place where there are lots of giants, right? Or at least there's one giant. I guess I'm not sure. Oh no, tree. I didn't kill it. When does Jack tend to die? Isn't it like late game? Maybe go for a piggy bank. I'm decently set up. I always assumed it was Jack Reacher despite not knowing who Jack Reacher is. Is that Jim from The Office? Is that who Jack Reacher is? Might be Jim from The Office. Does that mean that, what's it called? The engineering one that doubles materials value sometimes doesn't work on Jack? Don't remember what it's called. Metal finder, something like that? Metal detector? That's Jack Ryan, not Jack Reacher. Hmm. Reacher is the Tom Cruise big guy. Oh, on Amazon. That one? I watched some of that once. A cyber ball. Seems very bad. Maybe it'll help. I don't know. Recycling it didn't really give me anything, right? Did a little bit more damage. How am I healing? Oh, by picking up materials. Is that the only way I'm healing? And consumables, I guess. I keep getting a hit on purpose to keep you on the edge of your seat. I think I'm doing quite well. I'll have you know. What? What just hit me? I think something like spawned behind the tree and I didn't see it. Okay, crit chance, melee damage. Max HP or attack speed? Both decent. Sure. Working out nicely so far. Usually on Jack I die later on in the run. Usually I do okay until like wave 17 types of stuff, which is weird because with most characters those later waves just feel very easy to me. I have no problem against elite waves. May be true. I don't know if that's true. A bit late, but I will take this. Let's see. Let's see how this elite wave goes. Not Smiley. Not Smiley. I don't know if this is okay. This is so incredibly dead to Smiley, if I'd fought against Smiley. Maybe also dead to these. Yep! Dead to elite wave chasers with no counter reply. Should have taken knockback. Something, I guess. This is a very, very common way for me to die. And it always feels so silly because it is avoidable. I don't know that that was Shuriken's fault. I didn't take knockback anywhere, but I don't remember seeing one. But still, I could have like taken a double barrel shotgun or something maybe. I don't remember seeing one of those either. So, Needed stream delay? Maybe. The real challenge is maintaining try-heartedness throughout. I mean, I think starting Jack with Shurikens is just kind of hard to win with. I guess if I don't buy a mouse. Mouse is probably bad there. Might I have overspent trying to find early harvesting? I didn't spend that much trying to find early harvesting. Like 3 rolls or something. Feels more likely that I underspent. Oh my god. People on my friends list are playing Spirit Island. This is so good. It's becoming a thing.